Did you ever ask yourself, I wonder how Luffy's sandals did not break yet, or I really want to know if Luffy can stretch every part of his body? Here are all the answers to the most asked questions about One Piece. What is the One Piece? The One Piece! The One Piece is real! Oda confirmed that the One Piece is a physical thing and nothing like the friends we made along the way. The One Piece is something Joy Boy left for the afterworld, and we saw the reaction of the Roger Pirates after finding it, and they laughed. While it is clearly related to what happened in the Void Century, I don't think Oda would make the One Piece just a poneglyph with the truth of the entire history of it. And neither would a poneglyph make the Roger Pirates laugh. I think it will be something utterly ridiculous alongside actual treasures like gold and diamonds and the history of the Void Century. Something as ridiculously fun as the Gear 5 transformation. When will One Piece end? According to Oda, One Piece probably would have ended in 2006, so there is no reliable source to trust with this question. If not even the creator himself can assess it. However, we know that One Piece has finally entered the final saga after Wano. For context, the last saga, which was the Yonko saga, stretched from Punk Hazard to Wano, and it took 10 years. Wano alone took 4 years. Yes, 4 years for one arc. So calculating that Oda probably wants the last saga and final war arc to top the prior one. In my opinion, we still have a minimum of 10 years. Personally, I even think it might be closer to 50. Many creators claim that it roughly will be over in 5 years, which I think is highly unlikely. Therefore, the anime will maybe end like a year after the manga. So my guess is by 2040, and this sounds ridiculous, I know, the final episode of One Piece will air. And you know what? I'm looking forward to 15 years more. What happened in the Void Century? The Void Century is a time 800 years ago from today's time, and one of the biggest mysteries in One Piece. It's also the same time Joy Boy lived in, and Oden's time-traveling wife Toki was born in. The world government keeps anything that happened during that time a secret, and prohibits anyone from researching about it. It is confirmed that the civilization in the Void Century was technologically far more advanced than the current time. This civilization was defeated by the kingdoms that became the world government. So we can be sure the things that happened in the Void Century were pretty. Who is Luffy's mom? After 1000 chapters, we still don't know anything, and I mean anything about Luffy's mom. So who is she? There are several theories like the Croco Mom theory, but the one most people seem to rate is the one saying that Luffy's mom is a celestial dragon, and because she had a kid with a commoner, they killed her, thus making dragons so keen on taking down the celestial dragons. While this theory is pretty good, we also have had no real evidence to back it up. Oda once said in an SBS that he hasn't shown Luffy's mother because he thinks the word mother is an antithesis to having an adventure. So maybe he really doesn't care about his mother, or he has yet another goated backstory for us. Who will be the final Straw Hat? As we all know, Luffy said that he wanted 10 crew members, therefore 11 members in total. We currently only have 10, so the fans heavily believe that we will get another member. The main contenders recently were Yamato and Carrot. I think it's unlikely that it will be Carrot at this point, and even though Yamato said she would love to join sometimes afterwards, personally I don't believe it will be her, since she doesn't have a big dream like all the other Straw Hats. My two main contenders are Bonnie and Vivi. Bonnie has a sad backstory and a dream she wants to achieve, plus the connection to Nika with her father. However, my money is on Vivi and that she will rejoin only for the final war. She ticks off all the boxes, plus her and Luffy in particular have been highlighted to be a threat by Imo specifically, and most importantly, we already know her. It took Jinbei literally saving Luffy's ass in Marineford, and many people still aren't warmed up to Jinbei as a Straw Hat. So I think it's unlikely that Oda will make anyone post-time skip a Straw Hat. What are the origins of Devil Fruits? The origins of Devil Fruits may be rooted in the Void Century. As I said, the Void Century was pretty technologically advanced, so maybe they are the science of the time, because as we saw with Caesar Clown, it is possible to create Devil Fruits, even for someone like Caesar. So imagine what could be possible 800 years ago. What does D mean? D is an initial only a few characters seem to be born with. It is probably the initial of an ancient clan, as it gets passed down in the family. The family of D is referred to as the natural enemy of God, which in the context of One Piece probably means the celestial dragons, and it is said that everyone with the name of D dies with a smile. There is probably a connection to Joy Boy and the Void Century as well. A popular meaning of D is danger, but another one is Should you like this video? Yes, that's it. Like the video. Next question. Why does One Piece get a new anime? It has been announced that Wit Studio is working on a new One Piece anime alongside Netflix, and while we still don't know how much they will cover, how many episodes it will take, and much more, it's clear that Netflix liked the money they made off of the live action and would like to continue. Doing a new version of One Piece is nothing new too, as there have been several specials or movies that went through the pre-time skip events, but this time it will be done by Wit Studio. The aim will be to get people into One Piece who have only consumed the live action, so that the audience for One Piece keeps growing, and if it does well, I'm sure they might adapt until the end of the story. I doubt Toei has much against it as well, because the anime right now is too far ahead for a seasonal anime to catch up before the Toei anime ends. So it's a win-win for everyone. Who is Joy Boy? Joy Boy is a title, not a person. For example, Luffy now is Joy Boy, but who was the first Joy Boy? He lived in the Void Century and left the One Piece in Laugh Tale. He also made a promise to the fishmen on Fishman Island to bring the fishmen to the surface with the ship Noah, but he broke it. He left messages that he would return in 800 years on Poneglyphs, which he did in the form of Luffy. He is the one who probably fought the world government 800 years ago, and he will be the one that brings freedom to everyone. Which characters will die? One Piece is pretty reluctant when it comes to killing off characters, but for a story to have stakes, it is important to kill off characters. And after the time skip, it happens much more frequently, like with Pedro or Tonoyasu. However, I'm talking about deaths like Ace and Whitebeard, major deaths. I think Law is almost guaranteed to die. Oda doesn't just add the detail of his devil fruit being able to make someone immortal and afterwards dying just for the sake of it. I'm pretty sure he will use it. Then it will be important who he uses it for. Since if it isn't Luffy, I'm also not seeing a good future for Luffy, I'm sorry. Now obviously Luffy won't just die in the story, but rather after becoming the king of the pirates, we might get an epilogue of how he died like 10 years after finding One Piece. Since he has been giving away so many of his years just to use his gears alone and then to rescue Ace, I can't see him making it past 40. Garp is also another hot candidate, since it would be the classic old manta guy dying probably to protect either Kobe or Luffy. After the Straw Hats, the most realistic ones are Usopp and Sanji. Usopp would die achieving his death of becoming a brave warrior by risking his life for Luffy, and Sanji is in hot waters because of the talk he had with Zoro. I can't imagine Oda randomly coming up with something this huge and just never talking about it again. Who is Imu? Imu is the undercover ruler of the entire world, even higher than the 5 elders, and aside from them, plus Warpol for whatever reason, nobody even knows of his existence. It's pretty obvious that he has a connection to Joy Boy and the Void Century, so it is believed that Imu is at least 800 years old. Maybe because a past user of the Opi no Mi granted him immortality. He is also insanely strong or possesses a crazy strong weapon, as we saw him wipe out an entire island like it's nothing. Who has the highest bounty? The biggest bounty we have seen was Roger's 5.5 billion berries. Dragon might have a bigger one though, as his hasn't been revealed yet. The biggest active bounty is either still Kaido with 4.5 billion or Shanks with 4 billion, depending if Big Mom and Kaido are still alive. Leading to the next question, are Kaido and Big Mom dead? Almost 50 chapters after defeating them, we still don't know if they are dead or not. They only got knocked into magma after losing after all. We all know Oda's tendencies of not killing characters, so it's like 99% sure that he wouldn't just kill 2 important characters like that. They will probably return in like 200 chapters when we don't expect it. Speaking of returning enemies, when will Enel return? Man, I'm just on a roll of transitioning into the next question. Anyways, remember Enel? Well, he's in space now and is fighting space pirates, cause why not? Which confirms the existence of aliens as well, by the way. It is theorized that the inhabitants of Skypiea, the Shankdorians and the Birkans, all came from the moon to settle on Earth. So when Enel returns, we will probably learn more about that. Oda may just pull a bet you didn't think of him during the final war and just make Enel come back with his space army, I guess. Are Uta and Shiki canon? Both are very popular movie characters, and it has been confirmed that both are canon in the manga. However, none of the events that happened in the movies are canon, which means they will probably get reintroduced in the manga. Is Shanks evil? Probably not, or is he? Nah, let's be for real. But what if? Why does Blackbeard have two devil fruits? Blackbeard eat the Yami Yami no Mi and the Gura Gura no Mi after killing Whitebeard. Well, I don't know if he actually ate the fruit. In fact, we don't know how he even got the powers. Regardless, one of the main rules in One Piece world is that you can only eat one devil fruit, otherwise you die. However, only one man has two devil fruits, Blackbeard. The most popular theory is that Blackbeard is multiple people, more specifically 3 people in one body, which can be backed by evidence as well, like him never sleeping and much more. So that's how he can eat 2 and in the future maybe 3 devil fruits. Luffy's real devil fruit. Luffy's real devil fruit is the Hito Hito no Mi Model Nika. So that means it's not the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or actually that the name Gomu Gomu no Mi was supposed to cover the name of the real name. It's a mythical zone and modeled after the sun god Nika. Luffy can use whatever his creativity allows him to picture. The Gum Gum powers are just the tip of the iceberg. What are the ancient weapons? The ancient weapons are Pluton, Poseidon and Uranus, and they are all weapons of mass destruction. Poseidon is a living creature and it's a mermaid that can talk to and command sea kings. A mermaid princess with this ability is only born once every several centuries though, and the current one is Shirahoshi. That's probably also the reason why Roger came too early, because Shirahoshi wasn't born then, as the user before her was a mermaid princess 800 years ago. And would you look at that? It's in the Void Century, what a coincidence. Pluton is an ancient battleship that was built on Water 7 also during the Void Century. Man, I can't wait for when we finally learn about the Void Century. It was unknown where the Pluton from then ended up, but the blueprints stayed in Water 7 until Frankie decided to burn them, and with Robin being the only person who can read the poneglyphs, only she can figure out how to build the ship from the poneglyphs. In Wano we finally saw the warship, which was at the bottom of the submerged Mount Fuji and can only be reactivated when the walls surrounding Wano were destroyed and the water would flow into the ocean, thus truly opening the gates of Wano, which Oden fought so hard for. Uranus, and spare your jokes, is the biggest mystery as we know almost nothing about it. However, since the battleship is named after the god of the earth and the mermaid is named after the god of water, the weapon named after the god of skies has to be some kind of plane or maybe a bird. Maybe it even has a connection to Enel. What is Luffy's real dream? Luffy's dream is to be king of the pirates, but Oda decided to be a dick and add another dream, and the only people that know what the dream is are the Straw Hats, Ace, Sabo and Yamato, and all of their reactions was amusement or disbelief by how absurd it is. The most common theory is that the dream is for the entire world to throw a party. When will Dragon make his move? Bro, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Bro has been sitting on his ass for 1,000, not just 1,000, but 1,100 chapters. Even when the world government did all that stuff to Kuma. Bro, just watch. It's crazy how we saw Luffy beating a Yonko and finally meeting Vegapunk before Dragon got his ass up. After Egghead we will go to Elbaf and maybe that's when we will see more of Shanks. But as for Dragon, I think his only move will genuinely be in the final war against the world government. Who are the Straw Hats' parents? It's crazy how we know almost no one's biological parents in the crew. Luffy's father is Dragon, and as I said, the mother is unknown. Here are Zoro's parents, confirmed by Oda, but it appears they aren't really important to the story. Teda and Arashi. Nami's adoptive mother is Belmare, but we know nothing about her biological parents. A somewhat known theory is that her parents are also celestial dragons. Usopp is one of the only ones we know and have seen both parents in the story. That beat Yasop and Nakina. The second and only character we have seen both of the parents is Sanji with Judge and Sora. Chopper's parents are some reindeers, I don't know. Robin's mother is Nico Olivia, but her father is unknown. Frankie's real parents are unknown, though I read some theory that his mom is Big Mom and his dad is probably Optimus Prime. Brook's parents are probably dead and Jinbei's parents are Ariel and Nemo. What is better, the anime or manga? This depends on who you ask. While the anime gets a lot of hate because of how much it stretches things, personally I watched about 900 episodes in anime format and I would recommend it. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, especially pre-time skip. If you like anime more, I'd recommend anime. If you like manga more, go read it. We will see how the new anime from Wit Studio will do. Maybe that will be the ultimate form of consuming One Piece. But every version has its charm. Who is Sogeking? It has been over 500 chapters since we last saw Sogeking and we still don't know who he might be. Many speculated on Blackbeard because of the nose, but my money is on Goldie Roger, who faked his death and is undercover as Sogeking. If you have more questions questions, let me know in the comments. But also about other anime, as I may make another video like this and then I can answer your questions. Subscribe to not miss. Bye!